don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. Alright, Where the Crawdads Sing. This movie is not my kind of movie. It's not that it's a bad movie. It actually is a good movie. I am just not a fan of these kinds of titles. It's funny. My tone for the entire movie was based around the title. I'm one of those people who, like, it gives me the vibe of To Kill a Mockingbird. And To Kill a Mockingbird is a great movie. And this movie, Where the Crawdads Sing. Did I say To Kill a Mockingbird or Where the Crawdads Sing? Because Where the Crawdads Sing is the movie I'm talking about. Okay, Where the Crawdads Sing. It's kind of like To Kill a Mockingbird. It starts off with a death, and the person that they want to go down is basically this confused, and it takes place around the same time. It's the 1969 or probably 1969. It's like 1960s, and then they go back in the past and start talking about her story. And the one thing I liked about To Kill a Mockingbird is basically everything revolves around the case. You hear stories, they do flashbacks, and everything has to do with the case. This movie kind of set me off because, first of all, there was the title, which I'm not a fan of these kinds of titles. There are 5 ways of doing titles. Don't ask me what they are. I have forgotten. Even though I went to school for this kind of stuff, I've forgotten the 5 types of titles you can have for a film. I know one of them's like nothing to do with it, piece of dialogue in it, related to the story. Don't quote me on these. These are, it's all out of just filed away memories. Okay, so this kind of thing already sets me off. I'm not a fan of it because it just, ew, what's this going to be about? Crawdads singing? It doesn't resonate with what the story's going to be about. It doesn't give me any information about it. It just, apparently that's something her mother used to say. So already I'm set off to adverse to not like this film just because of the title, which I know, shame, you don't understand. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's fine. I enjoy being dumb here, okay? It's just how I am. So, I didn't like it for that reason, and then it starts off, it's like, oh, okay, it's a courtroom drama. I'm gonna enjoy this. And then they go back, and I'm not a fan of narration, especially the narration is over the top. It's throughout the entire film, and normally that's good when you're trying to narrate a movie, but they're literally showing everything that's being narrated. Yes, I get it. I can see that you're an abused child. I can see there's no one around. You don't need to tell me there's no one around. You don't need to tell me you were abused. You don't need to tell me. It's just like, I don't like it when they repeat what we are seeing with our own eyes. It's just like they're making, I know I'm dumb, but you don't need to treat me like I'm dumb. At least let me feel like I'm somewhat intelligent, all right? Give me okay, I think that's what it is. It made me feel dumb because it was like, telling me everything that I was seeing, and I'm like, I get that. So, okay, it's also probably another thing that has to do with the way the style it was done. But it felt like a lot of the past had nothing to do with the trial itself. So I was feeling that this whole thing would be a trial based off the first few moments, all right? I like my hand held throughout. I like it to be simple. And then the whole story's about her. And then she gets abused by the guy who's murdered. And then it's like, oh, she murdered him. This is the case in point. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what it is. But I liked the movie, okay? I did. When it finally got to the point because the first scene, which actually has to do with the trial, is when the character Tate gets in a fight with the character Chase, who was the character who was murdered. That is the only scene which shows the evidence of what's going on. The type of, so that's just it. That right there was the one thing that was, gosh. And from then on, I was like, okay, it's going to have to start doing with the case, which it did. Everything was around the case. She was being abused by him. She was, lied to by Chase. It makes you want to kill Chase. It makes you root for the person who killed him. And I was thinking, okay, it's going to be Jumpin', it's going to be Mabel, it's going to be Tate. All these people have motive to kill him because she has motive to kill him. I've already forgot her name. Kaya? I don't remember her name. I don't remember the lead character's name. But I remember Jumpin', I remember Mabel, and I remember Tate. And I remember Chase, the deadbeat dude. But it's supposed to feel for her story. I guess the reason why they did all that is because a man needs to get in the last hit, so he's hunting her down because she hit him with a rock when he tried to, take advantage of her. And good for her. Absolutely good for her. But I was pissed off when he was hunting her down. He got what he deserved. He absolutely got what he deserved. And at the very end, when it shows that how he got due justice, and I was hoping a flashback. I would have liked to have seen whether he's guilty or not, or not guilty or not. He was guilty no matter what. But whether he committed suicide by accident or was murdered, I would have liked to have seen it happen. As the audience, we are invested. We have spent these what felt like 5 hours watching this movie, and it is a well done movie. Don't let my petty annoyances bother you from enjoying this film. But the whole thing is just, I would have liked to have seen a flashback as to how it happened, because, well, as you'll watch it, there are alibis, there are stories told, and the story that it is, I would have liked to have seen how it was done, honestly, instead of just having the life, because it shows her happy life afterwards, the very end. I liked it. I enjoyed it because her and Tate ended up growing old together. They didn't build a family, but they got to see her family. Apparently, her sisters disappeared. Her oldest brother disappeared. Her mother passed away. And the only one she ever met with again was her brother. And honestly, I don't know what happened to her father. Either her father died or her father ran away as well. I don't know. They say he left, but what does that mean in this context? They didn't really give me enough information. They didn't seek him afterwards to find out if something happened. Because let's face it, even though he was a deadbeat, it was sad because there was one line where he's basically giving Kaya, whoever the lead actress is, as a kid, his knapsack, his military knapsack. And I started to feel like here he was opening up, and then the little girl runs away, her as a little girl runs away to get the mail. And then immediately she starts screaming about mother, mother, mother. He closes off, shuts down. And it was like he was about to reveal some deep, dark hurt, which has scarred him. Of course, it's wrong of him to be taking it out on his family, abusing, beating every single one of them. But still, I was like, this is an interesting story, an interesting avenue. If you're going to go down her story, might as well go down his. But nope, they didn't. He just disappeared like 3 minutes later. The film's good. It's a very emotionally impactful film. I was just already adverse to enjoying it just because of the title of the film. Honestly, I don't know why that bothers me. I don't know why titles like this bother me. I feel like it's gonna, because I guess it already is instilled in my brain that I know it's gonna be drawn out. It's gonna be slow. It's gonna be more emotionally driven, which honestly, let's face it, is not my strong suit. I do like emotionally impactful things, but when it's heavily based on emotion, and I expect it to be based on emotion, it kind of just feels like it's dragging its feet. However, if I have no clue like it's going to be based in emotion, like the last thing I just watched, the last thing I just reviewed, I had no clue it was going to be based on emotion, or I had a kind of a feeling, but oh my gosh, that was impactful, even though it probably didn't go the way anyone expected it to. But yeah, neither here nor there. It's definitely worth a watch. Give it worth a watch. I'm sorry I've ranted on for so very long. I think it's becoming a trait. I haven't done this in a while, okay? I had a few days off. It just really kind of bobbled up, and now I just need to talk. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.